Debussy was a 20th century French composer. He was born in
Saint-Germain-en-Laye.
He began study at the Paris Conservatoire at the age of 10. He traveled to Russia and worked for Nezda von May. In 1884, he was a first prize winner of Prix de Rome and spent 2 years in Italy. 3 years later, he returned to Paris and befriended symbolist poets and painters. He worked as a music critic and earned his income from the publisher. Unfortunately, he died of colon cancer on 25th of March in the year of 1918. Debussy admired of Wagner's work, such as Tristan und Isolde, however repulsed by his bombast. He preferred the French tradition of restraint, such as the work of Emmanuel Chabrier. Debussy's music was mainly influenced by Russian composer, medieval music, as well as music from Asia. He found new ideas from Russian composers such as Milibarkirev, Rimsky-Korsakov, Alexander Bordin, and Modest Mussorgsky. He also adopted a technique of parallel organum from medieval music. What is parallel organum? It is a polyphonic composition based on plain chant, with adding a new voice under the original and both lines move in parallel motion. Music from Asia also made a huge impact on Debussy's music. For example, Japanese gamelan music, Chinese, and also Japanese melody. Other than musical influences as mentioned previously, his music was also influenced by impressionistic painting. There are
Claude Monet, Auguste Renoir, Camille Pissarro.
By blending all the influences, Debussy gained his individual trademark of musical style, which impact on later composers. Debussy music is generally referred to as Impressionism. His music mostly depicts on a mood, feeling, atmosphere, and musical image or scenes. In order to depict these elements, Debussy used of motif, timbre, and mood, which include whole tone scales, octatonic, pentatonic, and Lydian mixolydian. Many of the motifs or ideas were not developed or resolved, but simply juxtaposed. His motifs are usually repeated with slight changes to show a different perspective of music rather than widely develop it. There are several solo piano works that compose about the same period with prelude, which are Images Volume 1 and 2, Children's Corner, and 12th Etude.
Now we are going to discuss about Debussy's preludes for piano. This genre was an introductory piece for solo instrument or multi-movement works. It was often in the style of improvisation. There are two significant composers who wrote preludes, J.S. Bach and Frédéric Chopin. J.S. Bach composed 2 volumes of well-tempered clavier for piano. Each of them consists 24 pairs of preludes and fugues. These works were designed to demonstrate the possibilities of playing in all keys on an instrument tuned in equal temperament. Besides, prelude was also served to establish the tonal center for fugue. These preludes and fugues are arranged in major and minor keys in an ascending chromatic order from C to B. For example, C major, C minor, C sharp major, C sharp minor, D major, D minor, and so on. From 1836 to 1839, Frédéric Chopin composed preludes opus 28. There are a total of 24 preludes in the set. He adopted the prelude as an independent character piece in which he could express his extremely beautiful melodies and rich harmonies while still maintain a convincing structure. Similar to Bach's well-tempered clavier, Chopin comprised a complete cycle of the major and minor keys, but they are arranged in the order of circle of fifth. For example, C major, A minor, G major, E minor, and etc. Among all the 24 preludes, only one prelude that has a descriptive title, which is the number 15, Raindrop. Similar with Chopin, Debussy composed 24 preludes, 12 pieces each. Despite the harmonic language and compositional techniques of the period, he also shared his most intimate thoughts and feelings in the music. Debussy's contributions to the genre was some impressionistic characters, and each prelude carried a descriptive title. Debussy chose to place the titles at the end of each prelude so that listeners will search for their own imagination rather than just rely on the descriptive title given by him. In his preludes, he used a variety of specific performance indication to underscore his tremendous interest in sonorities. Although whole tone scale was mostly found in his music, however, the scale was seldom used in his prelude book too.
Brouillard.
This work was inspired by a painting of Claude Monet called Veillée within the Fog. He set the fog as the subject. It has no actual form or structure like a five-part song. This prelude was composed with exploration on octatonic scales. The opening subject began with a parallel triad in C major in left hand, while the right hand superimposed over the triad. The effect of overlapping sonority suggests polytonality. Debussy composed musical elements to depict the sense of floating mist, the sweeping arpeggio at the beginning. The second subject was played in an octave. Extremely spaced out 4-octave melody give a sense of thick fog. A fragment motif, and it ends with the left hand B diminished triad, giving an impression of a fog hanging in the air. The polytonal harmony, short arpeggios, and unresolved cadence also suggest a floating mist. Similar opening patterns appear at Prelude No. 4, the Fairies' Exquisite Dances. Feel less mortes. The second prelude depicts the dead leaf that suggested autumn. It is a ternary form. The opening melody leads to a discussion of geotropism by Edward Locke Spears, which was a tendency for lines and melodies to curl or tilt downward. Parallelism was traced. The chords were played parallelly in both hands and sustained by a pedal point G, which created a temporary tonal center with rich harmony. In the B section, the motif occurred as ostinato bass. This prelude was full of orchestral colors, as many layers of voices beautifully blend in. The prelude was ended in a C-sharp major chord. La Puerta del Vino, the Wine of Gate. It was one of the most effective preludes of the set. This prelude was inspired by a picture postcard that Manuel del Valle sent Debussy from Spain. It was a depiction of the life outside of the palace. It was not the first, but the second work that musical depictions of Spanish life. The first one was La Serenade Interrompe in Prelude Book 1. This prelude was a polytonality work that structured in ternary form. The opening was incorporating with Spanish habanera rhythm. This prelude consists of 3 layers voice, which was one notable composition technique by Debussy. The first layer was a melody evolving alternating rhythmic figure of 3 and 2. Second, a habanera rhythm based on a tonic pedal of D flat, held for first half, although the harmonic above varied. Debussy varied the inner voice as pedal point. The prelude ends with an effect of fade out by reducing the notes and long-held chords.
Fait sont des danseurs exquis.
The music was inspired by a colorful illustration by Arthur Rackham for J.M. Barrie's play Peter Pan in Kensington. There are a total of 5 parts in this prelude. Part 2, 3, and 4 contain thematic material derived from Part 1, and Part 5 almost identical to Part 1. This prelude concludes with a reference to the opening horn call from Weber's Oberon Overture. This prelude shared the same mood with one of his Book 1 preludes, Dances of Delphi, both having been inspired by visual art and both relating to dances.
Bruyère.
It is based on 4 bars introduction with ternary form ABA prime. The structure and harmony are easy for the listener to understand. A straightforward diatonic harmony in A flat major occurs in the music, for example bar 8 to 10. The opening melody line are formed by pentatonic scale. The same melody line appears again in bar 45, but in an octave higher. A lot of scalar passages can be found in this prelude. The mood and style is similar to La Ville aux Chevaux de Lynn from Prelude Book 1, a portrayal of a peaceful pastoral scene. General Levine, eccentric. This prelude portrays the famous American juggler Edward Levine, who appeared at the Champs Elysees Marigny Theatre in 1910 and 1912. This prelude is formed by rondo sonata structure. This prelude is in the style and tempo of Cakewalk. It is similar in mode and style to Minstrels from Book 1. Debussy creatively applied incisive rhythms and sudden contrast of dynamics in this prelude.